It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles under the lights on Monday night.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And Goedert going to have an Eagles first down as he'll get this to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Second and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line. Hurts going to keep it running right. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Eagles use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
That one taken in by Neighbors. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. Now Wilson running left on the option. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
3rd down, here's Tracy. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete to Robinson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
To throw is Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Giants are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Throwing again here, Wilson. He's got it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Now it's Tracy.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Giants are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Hurts to throw. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Throwing is Hurts.
This is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Catch made by Slayton.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. What
do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They go play action with Wilson.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
In motion, Slayton.
Play action. It's Wilson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Back deep, Avery Williams.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brian Burns, his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Braden Mann now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
Now it's Wilson. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Here's Wilson.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. In motion left, Robinson. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
Again, it's Johnson.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down and 3.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Wilson. Complete. It's Johnson. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To throw again is Wilson.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's Wilson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Again, Wilson. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown.
Malik Neighbors as the first half is winding down. And the Giants have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So they potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Gano now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
That one downfield for Dotson. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. And that is incomplete here.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Throwing is Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They go play action now. Wilson.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Giants first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
Now Wilson. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Giants go up by 2 touchdowns.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Gano for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Hurts to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
A first down carry for Barkley. Fighting through. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Hurts. He's brought down to the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Hurts sets up to throw it. Quick throw to Barkley.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Brian Burns bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Now back to throw. Buying time to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9. He'll look to throw. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Hurts will throw.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Gets past one man. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Now Wilson. Across the middle, he finds Robinson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Tracy trying the right side.
And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
Here's 2nd and 10.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd down and 6 now. Hurts. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Complete. It's Dotson.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll look to throw again. His throw. Oh, no, lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll send one of those two tight ends in motion.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Bobby Okereke running in and bringing him down.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott from 28 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The New York set to take the field.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter.
To throw is Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
On the give, it's Tracy.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Wilson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Now it's Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
We have seen this before. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brian Burns make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long. Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest, and this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Here's Wilson.
Now he's free at the 35.
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Gano now to add the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles now down 28-21. A little under 40 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks.
Here comes 2nd down and 5.
Back to throw. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see.
Here's 1st down.
He's back to throw. This to possibly force OT. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Giants are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ball game.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.